Hello there, my Pagania. Back with our post-match reaction. This is Hungriez. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Yeah, it is what it is. We all hoped that it was gonna be a good performance from the boys, but that's not what we got. You know, it happens in football. It's either you win, either you lose, it's either you draw. So we drew. I hope we drew, but yeah, we didn't draw. We lost. We lost to Chiefs. We lost the derby, and yeah, the score was 1-0 or whatever. But yeah, here's what I thought about the game. I think we started off well. The first 10-15 minutes started off well. Salem was looking lively on the right with Munyane. They were very direct, and yeah, I felt like it was the start of a great game, which it didn't turn out to be. Munyane was very direct. Salem was trying his tricks on the right, and it's one thing I've said. Like, given a couple of days back, I've said like he's very. You can see he's a threat, and is someone who needs to be our outlet, because we know that Erasmus is that player who's gonna want to drop in, and he's a link man. He's that type of striker. He's gonna score some goals, but his one greatest asset is that he's a link man, and we're gonna need Hoto on the left and Saleng on the right to be those people who run off him, who use him as that anchor up front. And that's not what we've been seeing, because we had a chance. We had a chance where Erasmus took the ball, turned, and then he fed it to Saleng. But unfortunately, Saleng let the ball run. And once you let it pass, it had power on it. So why are you getting through the ball? You're supposed to keep it, control it, and then take the shot. And that's another thing, his decision making, especially in those crucial areas at crucial times. Because if we get that goal earlier on, totally different game. But he let it run, and then he hit the keeper. I think it became a corner. And yeah, that was it. I really liked Monyane's performance, especially in that first half. He was very lively, going up and down the wing. He was good, man. There was, Pirates. Pirates are always gonna play a high line, and we've been playing that high line. The only time we didn't play the high line was against Sundowns, because we know Sundowns is a threat. They're a very good team. We know they're threats, and we decided to drop deep. But I mean, it's Chiefs. We knew it was Chiefs. It was supposed to be a standard performance. Smash eyes, Lule, and think about the final. But I think that's another thing that got into our boys' head. It was, I think, the final, man. Cause that's the game that we need to win, basically. If you had told me that we lose against Chiefs and we win against Amazulu, I'm taking that all day. Taking that, celebrating my title, that's what I'm doing. But now the boys might have doubts on that game. They might think we didn't perform so well in this one. How are we gonna? It's gonna play with their emotions. It's gonna play with their emotions, and we don't know how this is gonna affect them. And I hope it doesn't. I hope they realize, boys, this was that training match, because that's what it was. It felt to me like it was, last night I was watching a game, the score was 1-1. It was a 0-0 game, and this is what this game was, a 0-0 game. First half, nothing happened. Obviously, Chiefs had those two chances from Dupree, and he should have buried them. Obviously, if he scores the first one, you know how football works. There's no way that football would be the same way after that, and they'd get that second chance. But if he scores that first one also, it's a different game. Like they also now are on the upper hand. But Mponjane was lively to it, man. He was like, hey, yay, 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 Jera Master Tracks. It was very good. It was a very good first half from Mponjane. And up till then, he was my man of the match. He was my man of the match. Dupree should have killed us, and those are two chances that should have buried. That's the luck that I think Mangete was talking about. Because if they have a better striker, they have a better finisher, they bury that game and they go home with happy faces. But yes, that was it from the first half. Nothing really happened in the first half. I didn't see anyone who was saying I'm gonna be the star of the show. Mart was fantastic in the middle of the park. Musele was being overran, and I didn't really notice what Ndlondlo's role was. I saw that whenever he got the ball, I think he just dwells on it too much. And that's another thing about our boys. We haven't been sharp on our passing. We don't get it and release it. We don't keep it moving. We dwell on it like askachahi, and that's what we needed. We needed that urgency that we had in that first 5-7 minutes. We needed that urgency. Good boys, especially in this rule, man. Like especially if we can kill them off with 2 goals in the first half, let's do it so that 45 minutes we just chill and relax and we bop it. Pasan. They keep chasing shadows, but that's not what we did. Yes, we kept the ball. We kept the ball the whole game. I think the final position was 59-41, something like that, but it wasn't good enough. Possession is 9/10 of the law. That's the saying in football, and that's what it was today. Went on to the second half. I'm happy. I'm gonna say this. I said this in the pre-match chat. Like, this game will show us if Jose is that guy to take us to the next level. And right now, he's showing good signs. He's showing me that he's that guy. Because he saw, with the boys, first half was shit. You guys were bad. You kept the ball in the wrong areas. You kept the ball in our half. And even then, it wasn't crisp passing. You losing like never. It's just, it was amateur football. Like I said, it's as good as the game I watched last night. And they were bad. But anyway, like, second half, manager changes it, puts on Makanga, puts on Dlamini. I'm like, good shot. You find it. Maybe one day you're gonna notice that Hoto just isn't the guy, man. Hoto just isn't the guy. And he has better games when we don't notice him. When he gets on the ball, you just realize the level that he's playing at, and it's class average vibes. Like, man, anyway. I'm happy the manager changed it for the better, because he showed that, let me put on those attacking, let me show some attacking intent. Let me go for it a bit, because there's nothing that you boys are giving me. Let me try Magaringe. And yes, the boys came in, and oh man, there's a video I was watching where they were talking about meeting. They were talking about, yes, it was on Disky TV, talking about meeting Dlamini at Debonairs. I'm like, this is why you're playing at this level. Udlama Debonairs. Why Udlama Debonairs when you're supposed to be a professional player? Those are things that you eat off season. Like, keep your body in shape. Don't eat fast foods. Or maybe I'm just blaming him because also, yeah, that happened. Erasmus was in the second half. I think it was like the 60-something minute, 67. I think Erasmus was trying to force things there in the box, and took a shot, curved outside, was off target, and here's the one I feel like the one highlight of the game. Definite foul on Ndlondlo. Ndlondlo bamrafa. Who was it? Was it Billiard? Billiard Uyamshova pushes him off the ball, and then Mart gets to take the ball. Like the referee is seeing this in front of him. It's like the foul happens in front of him. Since when are you allowed to push someone off the ball, not get the ball, and then your teammate gets the ball? Beautiful goal from Mart. We're not taking anything away from him. That was a beautiful goal, and yes, they saying that the keeper's off the line, decided to take it. Beautiful take, got it on target. That's a Chubby Alonso level goal. Those are things that you don't see every day, and we know that highlight is gonna be playing for the whole day, for the whole weekend, for the whole week. We know how these people are. They're gonna be showing that for the whole week. But we like it that foul iyobonakala lapha, and I hope someone is gonna put this out there. Guys, are you telling me you don't see that's a foul? That's a foul on Ndlondlo, and then they take the ball and then they score. Like, how are we not? VAR again. VAR. I feel like if there was VAR, there was VAR, they were gonna say, okay, how was this goal scored? And yes, we know, there's obviously, like, the ref is human also, he makes mistakes. Mara ubuke he foul, but push out player late to Baluisa. Even though I think, like, yes, Ndlondlo's touch should have been better. His touch has been letting him down lately. Like, a couple of games now he's had, but it happens. Football players, no one has 100%. Well, some people do, because you mean, like, if you have a good touch, you have a good touch. But we know Ndlondlo is a good touch. So his touch failed him there, and it looked like he was that trigger for the press. They pressed him. Marabam Rafile. But that's a definite foul. There's no, like, 9 out of 10 times, and that was that one time they called that as a foul. And maybe it's because it's because it was closer to midfield. It wasn't in a dangerous position, or in a position where it would give us an advantage or give them an advantage. The ref decided, no, let me let this go. But then it led to a goal for them. Shouldn't he think about you made a very bad mistake there. Like, it cost us the game, it cost us the derby, it cost us 3 points. So we move. Like, other than that, maybe you can talk about Mpochani's positioning for that goal. But we had the ball. The ball was with us. They took it off Ndlondlo. Like, the goalkeeper had no immediate threat. So other than that, man, it was a stellar performance from Mpochani, except for that one mishap, that one blunder. And for me, I don't think he needs to lose his position just because of that. That highlight is gonna be played, and they're gonna analyze his positioning, and they're gonna analyze this and that, but there was really nothing to that. That was a nothing game. That was a boring derby for me, because for me it was a boring first half, boring second half, and I'm impressed with the manager's substitutions. You can see that he knew that he's supposed to go for it. He brought on Pepra at the end, and he took out a defender. He took out Monyane for Pepra. That shows you he's thinking forward. He's thinking about, I need to get this goal. I need to get us the draw. So we move on to the next game, and that's just what this was. And man, I feel like that performance also showed us that we need to stop these title talks. We need to stop them. We're approaching halfway through the season, and there's gonna be this huge break now because of the World Cup. But we have a huge game coming up. We have a huge game coming up. We shouldn't let this one loss, one mishap. We know the boys were supposed to take this game to them, and everyone thought we were gonna win it. We thought we were gonna win it, but this was a nothing game basically. The real game is next week, boys. The real game is next week. And that's what I have to say about that game. Man of the match, definitely the Paris man of the match was Bojani. There was no one who was better than him, and maybe that shows you that Chiefs had a few threats. They did threaten our goal, because when the keeper puts in a performance like that, especially with those saves in the first half, that shows you that Chiefs were able to exploit our high line, and those fast players, lucky for us, they couldn't finish. But beautiful goal from Mart. I'll give it to him. Beautiful goal, and that just shows that the Pirates reserves are quality, I guess. Man. Pirates 0, Chiefs 1. Up the Bucks.